Hey guys, today's video is all about the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream Foundation. And I'm kind of mad because I've already filmed this first impressions video, but when I uploaded it to my computer, I realized that I was out of focus for most of the filming. So I'm not going to pretend like it's a first impressions anymore, but I still wanted to redo it. I'm going to put it on my face, show you what it looks like, and show you how it looks at the end of the day because I do have kind of oily skin, so I want to see how it holds up again. I've already washed and moisturized my skin. I use the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel as my moisturizer. This foundation is meant to be a full coverage foundation. It has that claim where it has so much more pigment. I got the shade Shell, which on the scale is the second one. The first shade, which I think is called Porcelain, was a little bit more like peachy pink toned, and this one is very, very yellow, as you will see. That's like about 2 pumps there. And from my previous experience with this, a brush does work best, but I will show you a little patch with the Beauty Blender as well. It's a very thick foundation. You can see that it's definitely not going anywhere on my hand. I find that this blends out pretty easily. It's got a really tacky feeling, kind of like the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, but I personally find that this looks more natural, which, by the way, in the Kat Von D, I'm in shade Light 43, which is a newer shade, and I would say it's pretty on par with this shade. All right, so I think it's pretty obvious which side has the foundation. It is pretty much full coverage. I mean, I do still see, like, for example, I have a freckle here, and I wouldn't say it's 100% like every single thing is gone, but this is definitely full coverage. And it looks pretty natural on the skin. I find it doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look cakey. However, I'm going to show you a clip which wasn't out of focus from my original first impression, and after I tried to layer the product on my nose, it went so weird, caked up and sank into my pores, and it was only in the place that I tried to layer it, which was on my nose. So I would not layer this foundation. So now I'm going to show you the Beauty Blender, which it does look nice, don't get me wrong. I just find I don't get as much coverage, and I end up using more product because it does get soaked up into the sponge. The thing with this foundation too is it doesn't set to a like powder finish. So it really is tacky and sticks to your skin like, honestly, like crazy glue. Like, it honestly feels like it's not budging anywhere. It never 100% sets. But that being said, it's still extremely long wearing. It's not like one of those foundations that transfers easily. It really takes a lot to rub it off because it's so stuck to your face. But if you just hate the feeling of, I don't know, the tackiness on your face, you probably would want to set it with a powder. So I am noticing that it is sinking more into my pores when I use the sponge versus the brush. All right, so this is my face done. As you can see, redness is like almost completely gone, very full coverage, and it does have a nice finish. I personally think it's like a semi-matte. You can definitely tell that I'm wearing foundation. Like, don't get me wrong, this is not a natural look whatsoever, but for having so much coverage, I'm really impressed with how it looks. The brush versus the Beauty Blender, I do feel like you can tell where the line is, like where the coverage is better on this side, and feel like it is a pretty good match. Maybe slightly more yellow than my actual skin, but not bad. And it doesn't oxidize too badly either, so I think you can see where it is on my hand. I'm going to show you like a bronzer contour application on top of this, just because powder products on top of a kind of like tackier, I don't know, creamier formula. So I do want to try that out on camera. I'm going to take this blush by MAC. This is in Baby Don't Go. It's going on pretty good, even though my face is still tacky. It's not like making the powder products on top of it go patchy at all. And I'm just going to use the same brush and apply some bronzer. This is the Cover FX Sun-Kissed Bronzer. So I'm kind of at a late start to the day. It is 1:30 in the afternoon, so I'm going to wear this until I go to bed, and I will show you what it looks like as far as like oil controls. So I've turned my lights off. I'm in 100% natural lighting right now, and it's been about an hour since I put the foundation on, and I just wanted to quickly show you that it has sunk into my line just there. Still does feel tacky, but it's not transferring, and it doesn't feel like slippery or kind of that normal transfer feeling that I find a lot of foundations have. On my lips is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Morocco. Alright guys, it is now 9:15. Just take a moment to appreciate the Canadian tuxedo. Oh yeah. So this is pretty much the same result that I had the first time that I tried it. So I think you can tell that like I'm very minimally shiny just on the center of my forehead and down my nose. And I thought it'd be a good idea to try a blotting sheet on to see how much product actually transfers off with the oils. This is something I have not tried yet. Let's go for it. Barely any product came off at all, and just a little bit of oil. Really stayed put. Like I said earlier, and I'm gonna say it again, foundation never set. It does still feel a little tiny bit tacky, although it does get less tacky over time. But I stand by what I said, like it does not easily transfer. I'm not gonna say it's transfer proof, because I feel like if I rubbed my fingers, yeah, like I can get a tiny bit of foundation, like you can see right there. Oh, one, it is extremely long wearing. Two, it is decent for oily skin. I mean, it didn't keep me 100% matte, but I mean, you saw that is very minimal oil for wearing it for this long. And it's really good coverage. I think this is something that I would wear in certain areas of my face that I wanted to keep good coverage. Like for example, I have an issue where foundation often doesn't last like at all on my chin or like down here. I feel like I would use this foundation on those areas because it really stayed on and was really good coverage. I feel like the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation is probably the closest to this foundation that I've ever used. I still think this one looks more natural, especially if you have like drier to combination skin. I feel like this would look better on you because the Kat Von D one, at least on me, and you can check out that video, I did a review on that foundation as well, looked very drying on me and made my skin like look like it had zero moisture. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.